بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مرحبا بكم أبنائي بناتي طلبة الشهادة الثانوية في هذه الحلقات لشرح حلول الأسئلة الاسترشادية القسم الأدبي لمادة اللغة الإنجليزية. معكم أنا انتصار الشريف. سأقوم كالعادة بشرح للفصل الخامس والفصل السادس الأسئلة الخاصة بالمواضيع العامة التي تتناولونها في الكتاب. تناولتوها في الكتاب. From now on I will be speaking in English. Okay, so let's begin. As I said, we will be covering Unit 5 and Unit 6 questions. Both of them have 31 questions. I'll be only covering the questions that ask for information or general information. The grammar, today I will be discussing some of the vocabulary questions, but the grammar parts will be discussed in a separate episode. Now, Unit 5, as you see, is related or discusses literature. Okay, so I'm not going to explain that much. I will be reading the questions and then reading the answers and trying to explaining them. Now, before I begin reading and explaining the answers, reading the questions and explaining the answers, I need to explain something. Now, when you see this, 5 here means the unit, okay, so Unit 5, then the number of the question. I'm not going through the questions in order, so you need to bear that in your mind, okay? يعني ما نشرحش فيهم بالتسلسل اللي عندكم، ناخذ في المواضيع اللي related to each other and I discuss them together, okay? Let's see. Question 10 says, what is meant by your personality? And this is a picture that's taken from your textbook. What's meant by your personality? Okay? Now, the person you are and the way other people see you. So your personality is the way you act and how people see you. So how you treat others, how you think. This is your personality. Okay? Which people share everything with their friends, and I have a clue here. I have a clue for you guys. So the answer says generous people do. What is the meaning of generous? Those people who like to give and share. Okay? They're known as generous people. Okay. Which persons love meeting new people and making conversations? Okay, so some people are shy and don't talk that much with others. They don't try to make conversations with people they don't know. But this kind of people, okay, the word or phrase they are looking for here in the question, they're outgoing, they can start a conversation with strangers. They are always happy and they always treat people with a nice mood. So what's the answer? Okay, outgoing people or persons. What is a sensitive person aware of? Now, the word sensitive here means you feel how others feel. Okay, so sensitive person is a person who can understand others' feelings and relate to them and try to help them. Let's see the answer here. So a sensitive person is aware of how other people are feeling. Okay, as I said, aware of here, you can understand them, you can relate to them. Okay, so you feel how others feel when you are sensitive. Who is a bossy person? A bossy person. Okay, you have to do this. Go there and sit there. This is being bossy, okay? Giving orders. A person who loves to give orders to others, okay? A person who loves others to follow him or her. That's a bossy person, okay? So, someone who always gives people orders, okay? A bossy person likes being in charge and telling everyone what to do. Being in charge here means you are the leader. You are the one who giving orders, okay? Let's look at the next question. What does conditioning mean, okay? And you find it here, okay? This is a picture that's taken from your book. It is the influence that culture and society have on you. So what does it mean? It means that when you live in a certain culture, for example, in the Libyan culture, there are certain behaviors that you have to learn and follow and do because of the culture, okay? So conditioning here is the influence, the fear that culture, the Libyan culture and society, المجتمع, have on you, okay? So how you learn to treat others or how you do certain stuff according to the culture you're living in. Okay, what was sorry if I'm pronouncing it in wrong way, Rousseau. I try to remember the pronunciation of the name, but it's difficult somehow. Okay, so what you need to remember here is not the pronunciation, what is he doing? You need to remember the name, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, okay? So what is that person? A philosopher, okay? He's dealing with philosophy. Who wrote The Bleeding of the Stone? So we have a title of a book here, okay? The Bleeding of the Stone. Who wrote it, okay? We have the name here. Ibrahim al-Kuni. Ibrahim al-Kuni is a novelist, Libyan novelist who writes novels, okay? I read many of his books and they are great. I encourage you to read them. They are in Arabic, but you can find translations of his novels, okay? A Libyan novelist, Ibrahim al-Kuni. Okay, let's move on. Who wrote the novel David Copperfield, okay? Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens. You need to remember the spellings of the names so you can write them appropriately. You might be asked to write the name, or you might have the information like a number of names as multiple choice questions, and then you need to choose the right answer. So it depends on how the question comes to you guys on the exam. So you need to remember the spellings and the answer of the question, okay? Move on. What does holding his breath mean? Okay, you see the picture? Trying not to breathe, okay? So, not breathing, okay? So when you hold your breath, you're trying not to breathe. What is the meaning of dawn? And I have two pictures here for you guys, okay? The first appearance of light in the morning, okay? Now we come to the questions that are related to Unit 6. And Unit 6 deals with the world of sport. Where were the Olympic Games first held? Olympic Games. In Greece, okay? In Greece. You need to memorize the spelling, okay? Now, do the Olympic Games take place every 4 years? What do you think? Okay, let's see. Yes, they do. The Olympic Games take place every 4 years. Every 4 years, we celebrate the Olympic Games and we watch them. Let's move on. What was the World Cup played in 2006? Okay, and here, if we read this sentence, we know that it was held in Germany. The World Cup was played in Germany in 2006. Gloves, punch, ring, round, bell, knockout. Okay, now let's look at the words one by one. Gloves, you see those? Okay, punch. Okay, and then ring. This is where they do the boxing part. Okay, round. Okay, when that's when they play for a certain time, and then they stop and then go for another round. Okay, the bell, jaras, that rings to say that this round is over. You need to stop, and then knockout, and this one. Look at the picture. Knockout. Are they for golf or boxing? And I think you already know the answer because of the pictures. Okay, so they are for boxing. Okay, they are for boxing. الملاكمة. Okay, now we come to the part where we discuss a number of words and their meanings, vocabulary. Give the meaning of a referee. Referee. What do you think? You have a clue in the pictures. Sorry. A referee is the judge in a sporting event. الحكم. Okay? What's the meaning of fan in a sport field? Fan, we have the fan that blows air, and fan, the word that you need to know here. And here are clues, okay? For example, الاتحاد fan, الأهلي fan, okay? So a fan is the person who follows a certain team enthusiastically, okay? Let's see what they have in their answer. A fan is someone who is very keen on something. Okay? What's the meaning of refuse? Now, for example, I ask you to do something and you say no. Saying no is refusing to do something, okay? Or refusing to give something, depending on the request. So, refuse means to say no to a request from someone. What does insist mean? And now let's see. I asked you something and you said no, and I say, oh please, you have to do it for me, please. Okay, so trying to convince you here to do something is insisting on something. Okay? Insist means to say firmly that something must be done. Okay, so you have to do it. Okay, please do it for me, insisting. What does viewing figures mean? Now look at this figure. It should have been bigger, but anyways, the numbers that are here, okay, are showing us the movies on streaming services. How many people watch these movies? Okay, so these numbers are viewing figures. Viewing figures mean the number of people who watch a program on television. Okay? Threaten. Look at the picture. Okay? You see, there is some kind of risk or danger. So when someone threatens someone, this person is putting the other into risk or danger. Let's see the answer. It means someone intends to put a person in danger or be at risk. What is meant by audiences? Now look at the picture. You have different audiences here, okay? Audiences are people who watch an event taking place. المشاهدين. Okay? You are my audiences now as I'm doing this. Give a definition to the word player. And I brought different kinds of pictures for the word player, so you can guess, okay? Football player, basketball player, baseball player, okay? Now you know the meaning of player, don't you? Okay? A player is a participant in a sport or sporting event, okay? لاعب. What does argue mean? Now argue here have two different meanings, but what they need is not the one I'm going to talk about or in the picture. To argue, to have some kind of discussion, with anger, with some kind of anger, okay? يعني زي العركة. That's one type of meaning. But when we write, or when we debate, or when we have like a speech, and we're trying to convince others, argue means here that we have some ideas, okay, opinions that we put together with their supporting information to convince others to believe in what we are saying, okay? It means you give reasons for what you say, okay? So what I've said in really complicated way simply means giving reasons for what you say. And you have different kinds of arguments in your writing, and when you are doing some kind of public speech, that's why you need to know the word argue. Write the meaning of the word offer, okay? So, and I had this picture because I tried to find some pictures, but most of them were related to like giving some kind of offers in shopping and something like this, okay? So in shops or malls or supermarkets, you will find this, okay? And it says special offer, okay? Special offer here means that you are being given some kind of cheapest something. So you have a number of, for example, things. One, for example, is 20, one is 15, and the special offer is 5 dinars. So special offer means having really cheapest value or amount of money so you can buy it. Offer also means that you give something or you ask to help, okay? Let's see what you have in the answer. Offer means you are willing to do or give something for someone. So for example, can I help you? Here I'm offering help, okay? Or take this, it's yours. I'm offering that thing to that person. So I can help or I can give something when I offer. Okay, this was the last question in this episode. وإن شاء الله تكونوا استفدتوا. سريعة طبعا هي. Covered some questions from Unit 5 and some questions from Unit 6. إن شاء الله الحلقة القادمة حنغطي بعض الأسئلة من يونت 7 ويونت 8، وبعدها بإذن الله حكون فيه حلقات خاصة بالجرامر. Thank you so much for watching me and following what I've been explaining. وإن شاء الله تلقوا الأسئلة سهلة والمراجعة سهلة، وربي يوفقكم. نلتقي بإذن الله في الحلقة القادمة.